You are thinking about buying vending machines because the business seems almost suspiciously simple. Place a machine inside a busy building, fill it with snacks and drinks, collect money while you sleep, then repeat until the route pays your bills. The machine never calls in sick, it does not need a lunch break. When the card reader flashes green at 2 in the morning, you can earn a sale without leaving your bed. That picture is real. It leaves out the part that determines whether the sale produces any meaningful profit. A vending machine is just a metal cabinet until someone gives it access to a valuable location. Economically, you are building a small retail and logistics company whose shelves are scattered across offices, factories, apartment buildings, hotels, schools, and laundromats. The most valuable assets are often the right to occupy those spaces, the density of the route, and the customer habits that keep products moving. The machine can sell a bag of chips. The harder question is whether that sale still pays you after inventory, commissions, card fees, repairs, driving, expired products, taxes, and your own time take their share. There are several ways to enter the business. From a distance, they may appear similar. You could begin with small bulk machines selling candy or capsules. They are inexpensive and mechanically simple, but each transaction produces very little revenue. Traditional snack and beverage machines require more capital, larger inventories, and refrigerated equipment. A combo machine places drinks and snacks inside one cabinet and saves floor space. Its limited capacity can become a weakness at a strong location. Specialty machines may sell coffee, frozen food, personal care products, electronics, or merchandise selected for one particular building. Smart coolers and micro markets offer customers more choice. They also introduce more technology, security requirements, inventory control, and potential losses. For this ownership simulation, assume you are building an independent route of modern snack and cold drink machines. You are not buying a national franchise. You are not beginning with hundreds of units. The goal is to own enough machines to create a real business without immediately needing a warehouse, several vehicles, and a full service department. Your first instinct may be to shop for equipment. That is usually the wrong starting point. A beautiful machine sitting in your garage produces exactly $0. The better sequence is to secure a location, understand the people who use it, and then purchase equipment suited to their traffic, schedule, and product preferences. A new snack, beverage, or combo machine can cost several $1,000s. Used or refurbished equipment may reduce that price sharply. Smart units with touchscreens, telemetry, and advanced payment systems can cost considerably more. The cabinet is only the beginning. You may also need a card reader, delivery, installation, moving equipment, locks, decals, initial inventory, insurance, business registration, permits, storage shelves, software, and a reserve for repairs. Suppose you find a refurbished combo machine for $2,500. It appears ready to operate. Then you discover that the bill validator is outdated, the card reader is missing, and the refrigeration system has no meaningful warranty. After modernizing the payment system, transporting the machine, replacing a worn component, and filling it with products, your bargain is closer to $4,000. A new unit may cost more at the beginning. It may also include warranty protection, newer parts, and fewer emergency service calls. Neither choice is perfect. Used machines preserve starting capital and can repay their costs quickly when the equipment is reliable. They also make you responsible for evaluating the condition. New equipment reduces some early repair risk while trapping more money at each location. If the account performs poorly, a $6,000 machine does not care that the building manager promised stronger traffic during the sales pitch. Subscribe if you want to see what familiar businesses look like after the hidden costs arrive. The location agreement matters just as much as the equipment. Some property owners simply want a reliable service for employees or residents and ask for no percentage of sales. Others expect a commission on gross revenue. A strong public location may attract several vending companies and turn the placement into a bidding contest. You can win the account by offering the highest commission and still end up with the busiest machine and the weakest profit. Traffic alone tells you very little. You need the correct kind of traffic, A person crossing a lobby beside a convenience store has alternatives. A night shift employee inside a factory may have 15 minutes for a break and no open cafeteria. An apartment resident who sees the machine every evening can become a regular customer. A tourist walking through a hotel may never return, even when the hallway looks crowded. The strongest locations usually combine several qualities. They have a captive or semi-captive audience. They operate for long hours. Nearby alternatives are limited. Enough people use the building to support frequent purchases. And the property manager values reliable service. Practical access matters too. If every restocking visit requires dragging cases across a large campus, waiting for a security escort, or paying for parking, the route begins losing money before you open the machine. Capacity creates another limit. A cabinet can hold only a certain number of bottles, cans, and snack rows. Suppose the most popular drink sells out every Tuesday while your regular refill day is Friday. That empty column is not simply proof that the product is successful. It represents 3 days of sales you were unable to make. You could visit more frequently, install a larger machine, add a second unit, or raise the price. Every response changes the economics. More visits increase fuel and labor. Additional equipment ties up capital. Higher prices can reduce demand. This is where telemetry becomes valuable. A connected reader or inventory system can show what sold, when it sold, and which selections are running low. That information helps you avoid driving 20 miles only to discover that the machine needs 6 candy bars. It also prevents a strong account from remaining half empty because you assumed it could wait another week. Cashless payment has become central to modern vending. Customers increasingly expect to tap a card or phone, especially when the product costs more than the coins they are carrying. Cashless systems can support higher prices and remove friction from the purchase. Every tap also creates a fee. You may pay a percentage of the transaction, a fixed processing charge, a monthly connectivity fee, or a combination of all three. On a $2 sale, a fee that looks small on paper can remove a meaningful portion of the remaining margin. Follow one drink through the machine. Assume you sell it for $2 and purchase it for 90 cents. The location receives 20 cents under a 10% commission. Payment processing and technology consume another 12 cents. An allowance for spoilage, refunds, and theft takes 6 cents. You have 72 cents left. That amount still has to contribute toward the vehicle, fuel, repairs, insurance, storage, software, permits, and the time required to purchase, transport, load, and stock the product. Those 72 cents are the contribution margin. They represent the amount each sale contributes toward costs beyond the product itself. After those costs are covered, additional sales can become attractive. Before that point, the machine may look busy while the road continues losing money. This is why market-wide averages can be misleading. Industry data may report what a typical vending machine generates across thousands of locations. Your route will not contain an average account. It will contain individual buildings. One factory may sell more in a week than a quiet office sells in a month. Another location may barely pay for the card reader subscription. Combining them into one average hides both the winner and the machine that should be removed. Customer behavior determines which products turn. People use vending because it solves a small immediate problem. They are hungry, thirsty, tired, short on time, or unable to leave the building. Convenience is the main promise. Familiar brands reduce hesitation because the customer already knows what the product tastes like. The decision takes only a few seconds. Price still matters, but vending customers compare it differently from grocery shoppers. They compare the machine with the effort needed to find another option. A $3 drink feels expensive beside a supermarket shelf. It may feel reasonable at midnight inside a hotel, during a short factory break, or after a workout when the nearest store requires a drive. Repeat customers are especially valuable because their purchases reveal what each location wants. The day shift may prefer energy drinks and chips. The night shift may buy more coffee, water, and filling snacks. An apartment building may move more comfort food late in the evening. A medical facility may respond better to bottled water, protein products, and food that can be eaten quickly. Every purchase is a vote for what should remain in the machine. The most valuable customer is not always the one who spends the most during a single visit. It is often the person who makes a small purchase several times each week. A building with 200 repeat workers can outperform a public lobby, crossed by thousands of strangers. Those regular customers also notice failures immediately. When a favorite route remains empty, the bill validator rejects money, or the machine repeatedly charges without dropping the product, trust disappears quickly. Seasonality can transform an account even when the building itself does not change. A school may perform well during the academic year and become nearly silent in summer. A warehouse can surge during the holiday season. Hotel activity rises and falls with tourism. An office may look full on Tuesday and almost empty on Friday because of hybrid work schedules. A factory can add or remove an entire shift. Choosing a location also means accepting its calendar. Experienced operators study sales by day and hour instead of turning one strong month into an annual forecast. They also separate the revenue collected today from the profit that is safe to spend. Some of the cash will fund the next inventory purchase. Some belongs to the tax authority. Some should remain reserved for the compressor that will eventually fail. Repairs are where the passive income story usually becomes physical. A snack coil stops turning. A bill becomes jammed. A refrigeration unit begins running warm. The card reader loses its connection. The account manager does not care that you plan to visit next Thursday. From the building's perspective, you promise to provide a working service. If the equipment remains unreliable, the property can replace you with another operator. The surprising expense is not always the replacement part. It is the service trip. You may drive across town, find parking, pass through security, open the cabinet, diagnose the problem, and discover that you need a different component. Then you return the next day. The motor may cost less than the time and mileage required to install it. When machines are scattered across a wide area, every minor failure becomes a logistics problem. Subscribe for more breakdowns where a crowded business and a profitable business turn out to be very different. Route density is one of the strongest advantages in vending. Imagine 2 operators with 10 machines each. Your machines sit within a 15-minute radius. The other operator's equipment is spread across 3 counties. Both routes generate the same sales. You can restock several accounts during one trip, respond quickly to breakdowns, and carry less emergency inventory in the vehicle. The other operator spends more time and fuel earning the same gross revenue. Losing one location can damage several parts of the business at once. Suppose one factory contains 3 of your strongest machines. Management changes. The new company awards the account to a larger vendor. Your revenue falls immediately. You must pay to remove the machines. They sit in storage while you search for new placements. The remaining route still requires a vehicle, insurance, software, and travel. Those costs are now spread across fewer sales. If you finance the equipment, the monthly payments continue, while the machines remain idle. That chain reaction explains why contracts and relationships matter. A written agreement can clarify the term, commission, service standards, access, electricity, responsibility for damage, and what happens when either side ends the arrangement. It cannot guarantee the location forever. It can reduce confusion and give both parties a clearer process. Strong operators also avoid allowing one account to represent too much of the route. Regulation changes as the business grows. In the United States, operators who own or operate 20 or more vending machines selling food may be subject to federal calorie labeling requirements with specific exemptions and display rules. State and local licensing, health, permit, and sales tax requirements can vary as well. The first machines may feel informal. At a larger scale, the route becomes a more clearly regulated operation. A real example demonstrates both the appeal and the limitation. The Wall Street Journal profiled a truck driver who created a small route after noticing that workers continued using a machine even while complaining about it. His first 3 machines reportedly generated around $1,500 in monthly revenue and approximately half that amount in profit. The route required several hours of work each week. That can be useful side income. It is not an automatic salary. Replacing a full-time paycheck would require more machines, stronger locations, or both. Growth creates another challenge. More equipment increases sales. It also increases the quantity of products you must purchase, count, transport, rotate, and repair. A route that fits inside the trunk of a car may eventually require a cargo van, storage space, software, and additional help. Hiring someone can free your time. Labor introduces another break-even point. The route must produce enough contribution to pay the employee before that employee begins creating profit for you. Growth can also squeeze working capital. When sales rise, you have to purchase more inventory before you can fill the machines and generate the next round of revenue. The bank account may temporarily look worse because cash is sitting inside cases of drinks and boxes of snacks. Fast turnover releases that money. Slow-moving products create expiration risk and trap capital. Strong operators improve the business through small decisions repeated across the route. They secure locations before buying machines. They negotiate commissions using expected sales rather than enthusiasm. They track products by account. They remove weak selections instead of installing the same planogram everywhere. Remote data reduces unnecessary visits. Common repair parts remain inside the vehicle. Machines are cleaned. Refund requests are answered. The property manager is treated as a client, not merely as someone providing free floor space. They also know when a machine should leave. Owners can become emotionally attached to a placement because securing it required time and effort. But a machine with weak sales, frequent service demands, and a location far from the rest of the route may reduce total profit. Removing it can lower revenue while increasing owner cash. That is one of the uncomfortable truths of vending. A smaller, denser route can outperform a larger route made up of scattered, weak accounts. At the best locations, you may be able to expand beyond traditional vending. A high-volume workplace could support a second beverage machine, a coffee unit, a smart cooler, or a micro-market offering a wider selection. These formats can increase sales per location because customers can see and handle more products. They require more capital and tighter control. Open shelves introduce shrink. Fresh food creates spoilage and food safety responsibility. A larger format improves the economics only when the location has enough demand to support it. Now build a complete example. Assume you secure 5 locations within a compact suburban and industrial area. Together, they support 12 machines, mostly refurbished snack and beverage units equipped with modern card readers. After the machines, readers, delivery, initial inventory, moving tools, insurance, registration, and a repair reserve, your total investment is $48,000. This is an illustrative scenario, not an industry-wide average. You invest $18,000 of your own money and finance $30,000 over 5 years. Across the route, each machine averages $800 in monthly sales. Total monthly revenue reaches $9,600. Inventory consumes 43%, or a little more than $4,100. Location commissions average 12% and take roughly $1,150. Payment processing and connectivity consume around 5%, or $480. Spoilage, refunds, and minor losses take another 2%, approximately $190. That leaves about $3,650 before route overhead. Fuel and vehicle costs consume $550. Software, reader subscriptions, insurance, permits, storage, and administrative expenses use another $550. You reserve $300 for repairs. The equipment payment is roughly $640. You also set aside $500 for future machine replacement and major upgrades. After those obligations, the route leaves approximately $1,100 per month before income taxes. You have also worked around 45 hours buying products, planning inventory, driving, stocking, cleaning, answering refund requests, and making repairs. The cash remaining is not entirely investment return. Part compensates you for your labor. Another part represents the return on the money you placed into the route. The scenario can still work. the debt will eventually end. Reliable machines may continue operating for years. Better purchasing can improve margins. But the first year does not produce effortless wealth. You have created a demanding side business that can become stronger as route density, sales data, and operating skill improve. In a strong year, average sales per machine rise from $800 to $950 per month. You negotiate better product costs, keep commissions stable, and use telemetry to reduce stockouts. Revenue reaches $11,400 per month. Many overhead costs change very little. A significant portion of the additional contribution can reach the bottom line. The route may produce several $1,000s more in monthly cash before taxes and before assigning a fair value to your labor. A difficult year requires no major disaster. One factory removes a shift, an office loses tenants, 2 refrigeration repairs occur during the same quarter. Average machine sales fall to $650. While product prices and vehicle costs rise, monthly revenue drops to $7,800. The loan, insurance, software, and much of the driving remain. The route may still show a small accounting profit before paying you fairly for your time. The return on your invested cash, however, becomes difficult to justify. That gap explains why 2 vending routes can look identical from the hallway. Both machines light up. Both accept cards. Both contain familiar products behind glass. One belongs to a dense route with repeat customers, reasonable commissions, fast inventory turnover, and reliable equipment. The other is scattered, overfinanced, frequently empty, and dependent on one major account. Subscribe, and the next ordinary machine you pass will probably look more like a financial statement. Owning vending machines can work, especially for someone who enjoys route planning, customer service, basic repairs, purchasing, and steady operational improvement. It is a poor fit for anyone who buys equipment first, expects locations to appear later, and treats every dollar collected as profit. Return to the green light on the card reader. The customer sees a transaction lasting 2 seconds. You now see the product cost, commission, processing fee, inventory trip, service promise, equipment reserve, and location relationship behind it. The machine may complete the sale while you sleep. The route earns its profit through decisions you made while fully awake. The real test is not whether the spiral turns, it is whether enough profitable products drop before your next restocking trip.